welcome everyone. Wait, to our apps, ma'ams and alums. Thank you very much for joining us for today's first General Assembly. So tonight, the UPC ad hocs will tackle their progress and updates for their initiatives this semester. So I am Irish Castillo, as you may know, VP for Operations, and alongside our VP for Marketing, Ms. Toph Villamore, and will be your host for this GA. So to start the General Assembly, of course, it will not be complete without hearing a welcoming speech from our president. So let's give a round of applause for Ms. Riza Rubino.
Okay, hello everyone. So thank you so much for coming in today. So we know that everybody's tired and we know that this is supposedly your break, your well-deserved break. So we really appreciate you coming here despite these two things. Sorry, okay ba yung audio ko? Kasi nag-unstable daw internet ko. Okay naman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Oops. Okay. So we called in a general assembly for three reasons. So the first is, of course, because it's important for us to stay updated about what's happening inside the organization, whether or not those matters concern the teams that we are in, or whether, or even if like we don't hold officership positions this semester. So next is because, as some of you may have noticed, we are trying to, we as IC, we are trying to gather feedback more often than before, just because, of course, we want to keep improving every year. So in the interest of hearing your thoughts as well, because you might have ideas, suggestions, or concerns that the teams might have overlooked, you can speak up at any time during the presentations. So lastly, we also wanted to take this opportunity to have a member development initiative. So some of the early feedback from the performance feedback form included that you guys wanted more member development initiatives. So this is in response to those who raised that in the form. So we will have a guest speaker in a bit, and the topic will be on effective communication in leadership, because we recognize that this is a difficult time, yung virtual setup, especially to communicate with especially to like build a genuine connection and also to communicate with each other as well. So we hope that you have a fulfilling time today, and we also hope that you participate in the games, the Q&A, and in the discussions later, so we can all get the most out of this. So thank you so much, siblings, and also I see some apps here. So thank you all for coming. So I'm gonna be giving the mic back to Soph and Irish.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. President. And now, before we proceed with the discussion of each committee, let's have a quick icebreaker. It's called Name It. So instructions, next slide, please. One letter is given. The first person to send in the chat box 10 things that should be in the same comment that start with a specific letter will win. So the three winners will receive 50 pesos each in care of our PIN VP, Mr. Justin. Okay, so let's start. Guys, ready na ba for the first letter?
Wait, send one sa chat if ready.
O sige, send one sa chat. Guys, 50
Oh.
pesos. 50 pesos is at stake.
Nakita ko si Ivy dito, si Ivy yung bibong-bibo dito eh.
Okay, sige.
Una.
Okay, let's start with the first letter. Next slide.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
10 things in
Letter
one comment
D.
pa.
Go. Same message dapat ha. Letter D. Isang message.
Isa lang.
Isang chat. Like isang chat siya. Si Miss Irish ang mag-ano. She will keep track of the winner.
Okay.
Type.
Ayan, unahan.
Ay, napatagal ata sila.
Unahan sa 50 pesos. Ayan.
Uy.
Ay, handa.
Paki-check.
Dog, dump, drive, day, dove. Wait, counted ba to? Present tense, past tense?
Uy, nakita daw sa slides.
Driver, coconut,
Ano
donut,
yun?
dam. Sige. Sige. G.
Okay. Siya ng winner, Mr. Fidel. Okay. Next one. Next letter in 3, 2, 1,
Go.
go.
Letter B.
Letter B. Okay.
Pwede ba English or Filipino? Pwede naman, diba?
Any na lang.
Okay.
Oo. Any language.
So, letter B.
Yan. Yung si Gian. Paki-check. Let's
Banana
check.
boy,
Okay.
big bad ball. Black Bentley, white.
Ano to? Banana boy, big, bed, bold, bounty, barred, base, bent, box. Okay, tama. So, si
Okay.
Gian for this
Okay.
round.
Okay. Winner si Gian. Okay. Last letter. 3, 2, 1. Go. H. Letter H.
Ha.
Go, guys.
50 pesos
Ako
to,
na,
guys.
30 double.
Para sa mga bagong pasok, go, habol kayo. 10 things na nagsastart sa H.
Yes. Chat in the same chat box siya
Same
dapat.
chat. Same chat.
Yes. Uy, Gian ulit.
Palaban. House.
Dami.
Tama ba?
Lawrence Carolina.
Uy, 10. 10 words
Actually, hindi
siya.
ko pala binibilang yung kanina. Tin-check ko lang yung tama.
Wait lang. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10, 10.
Mukhang 10 naman din.
House, hose, heart, hearth, heat, hint, hope, help, hit, hex.
Oo.
Okay.
Siyang panalo ulit. Okay.
Okay.
Ayun.
Okay.
So that
Congrats.
ends our icebreaker. Congrats to our winners. And now we will just coordinate with our VP for Finance, Mr. Justin, through Facebook after the event to send your prize. Miss
Okay.
Irish?
Okay. Okay, so to finally cut the chase, it is our honor to formally introduce our keynote speaker for tonight. Ms. Rai is our speaker now here.
Checking. Siguro we can proceed with the first team.
Okay. All right, so we'll go back to Sir Benji later. So now, we will proceed with the first ad hoc we have here. So let's welcome our head for Entrepreneurial Academy, Ms. Joanna Jung Guadalupe, and one of their marketing heads, Mr. Charles De Leon. So you have the floor now.
Hi. Well, una. Malinaw ba?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start. Good evening, everyone. Evening ba? Yeah, good evening, everyone. So for this year's EA, there are various changes. So number one, in case you noticed sa pub, instead of the term Biz Talks, we call the event the Entrep Academy, which is derived from the name of the ad hoc itself. And also, aside from the fact na BizTalks is used na by another company, we believe na the term Entrep Academy better summarizes then the purpose of the event, which is to teach aspiring entrepreneurs about entrepreneurship. And then second change is that instead of the usual BizTalks 1 and then theme and then BizTalks 2 another theme, this time what we're gonna do is we will make it as one big event na lang but with two phases. Wherein phase 1 will focus on like the basics of starting a business. So the topics are business model, the laws and legal processes, and financial literacy. And then assuming that the participants learn that basics during phase 1, that like the basics of starting a business, phase 2 will then focus on growing that business. That's where the topics will be about advertising strategies, thriving in the pandemic, quality management, and overall business strategies. So the theme naman for this SEM's the Entrep Academy is the Entrep Academy cornerstones, because like what I mentioned earlier, we want to be like the prime stone, the foundation. We want to give the participants the foundation as they begin their own entrepreneurial journeys. So phase 1, which is a webinar, will be called Cornerstones Basing Fundamentals. And then phase 2 will be called, which is a panel discussion, will be called Cornerstones Made Success. So for the date and time naman, it will be conducted 2 consecutive Saturdays, December 27 and November 27 and December 4, both 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the platform, but it will be conducted via Zoom pa rin. But as of now, we're thinking of live streaming it sa PLOE Facebook page for those who, let's say, were not able to sign up, or those who are having troubles like accessing Zoom because of internet connectivity issues. And then lastly, for the target audience, we have senior high school students, college students, fresh graduates, and other aspiring entrepreneurs. So next slide, please. Go, Charles.
Okay, so now, show ng case na sinet namin sa beginning ng semester compared sa current progress namin. So for the participants, we targeted 200 SHS and college students from all over the country. Pero now we currently have 350 plus registered participants na from SHS, college, and meron ding working professionals. Tapos, at the start of the SEM, we targeted to close 5 to 8 org partnerships. Pero we currently have 15 org partners, and we are currently endorsed by YesPH and GEWPH. Tapos, we also targeted 2 to 3 company sponsors. Pero now, we currently have 2 confirmed sponsors, yung PAGCOR. Pero hinihintay pa namin yung specific package na kukunin nila. And Paynamics, which they opted for the gold partnership sponsorship package. Tapos for Franchise Manila naman, they opted for the gold package, tapos mawasent na. We're just waiting for the signed copy. Then now we're negotiating with Gardenia for a possible X deal worth 5K, so that's a bronze partnership. Tapos now, even if we're in contact with 4 companies, we're still finding more sponsors for the event. So next slide, please. As for the speakers naman, we have 3 speakers for both phases, 3 each. So for the first one, it's more of a traditional webinar. So yung topic nga sinabi kanina is business model, laws and legal process, and financial literacy. So for business model, we have Ma'am Galura from Naapuhap, Manila. She's the CEO. Tapos yung general manager naman ng Bears Business Solutions, which is Romel Bears. Tapos si Sir Vivian Santillano, which is the founder of Millennial Startups PH. Tapos our 3 panelists for the panel discussion naman for the second phase. Si Rene Paulo Isiasa, yung founder ng Force Belt. Principal architect ng Balay Disenyo, si architect Michelle Genito. And third is yung from Paynamics. They gave out a panelist for our event. Yung CEO and co-founder nila, which is Ms. Mylene Chua Magleo.
Next slide, please. Okay, so for the next few weeks, these are our courses of action. So we'll be contacting sponsors, gathering participants, finalizing speakers, sending emails, posting pubs. So basically, there are lots of things to do pa, so go EA. And then, speaking of posting pubs pala, the EA team has prepared something for you guys. So after the event, we will be having a raffle in which one mem or app who help us like and share all the relevant pubs can win 500 pesos. So yay, easy 500. And then for the important dates, so yesterday we posted na the link for the DP collection. So that then will be on November 13. I hope you guys can join us with DP Blast to further promote the event. And then other dates, November 22 yung DP Blast, 27 and December 4 will be the dates now event itself. So yeah, I hope you guys can support us, and all relevant links will be sent in the Zoom chat. Diba? Ready kami. So yeah, that's it. We're open for questions and suggestions now.
All right. So thank you so much, Ms. Jung and Mr. Charles. This is really a big event. So guys, let's attend this most awaited event and show support to our Entrep Academy on the 27th of November and 4th of December, because you can never go wrong watching this. So now, if you have any questions to our ad hoc EA, please send in your questions to chat box. If you haven't, pwede rin naman pahabol, yeah. you have
Yes.
questions, you open
Also,
the floor
appreciate
now.
lang natin na sobrang beyond the KPI na yung na-achieve ng team and they still have like
Yeah,
1 month more for
True.
the event.
true,
So,
true, true.
thank you, EA, for
Super
your hard
proud.
work.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so seems like we don't have any questions right now. So if you have later, so just do not hesitate to lang chat. So now going back to one of the most important parts of this GA, it is our honor to formally introduce our keynote speaker for tonight. So Professor Benjamin Sandoval is a professor of strategic management and leadership at the University of the Philippines Virata School of Business. He is also a program director of the Development Center for Finance and a strategy consultant for EDS Innovation.
So in total, Prof. Benji has conducted management training seminars and management consulting for over 220 companies. He has also been teaching management for over 25 years. Prof. Sandoval is French educated with an MBA degree from the ESCP EAP Paris, one of the Grand Écoles in France. He also has a master's in technology management from the UP Technology Management Center. Lastly, Prof. Benji is a graduate of LaSalle Green Hills Batch 1987. This means Brother Gus was his high school principal. Let's all welcome our honorable speaker for tonight, Sir Benji.
Hi guys, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, what's this? Firstly, I'd like to thank Rai for inviting me not to speak today. It's a short lang, just to talk a little about leadership. So, what I did, because I've been talking online, and I've had all these technical problems now. So to make life really simple, what I've been doing is I've been sending files through the chat, and people can look at it there, so that so I don't get into a problem. So what I did was, if you indulge me for just 10 minutes, not so short, I thought of what was a nice thing to do. So what I did was, I sent my quiz inside the chat. It's not a academic quiz. It's a quiz about your personality, which is linked to leadership. So actually, it's on the chat. Baka someone can show it, no? Yeah.
Wait, sir. I will
Sige.
screen share.
You try na lang.
Yes, sir. Hold on. Opening the file. Ayan. Okay. Okay. Here it is. Can you see it now, sir?
Yeah. Can you see it? Sige. Okay, guys. So this quiz, I've been using this for a long time. And actually, even if you took it before, it's kind of helpful. It's always been helpful for me. All you have to do is, if you see the file, there are 4 words in every row. I'd like you to pick the word that best describes yourself. And when you do that, you write it down, let's say column 1. Okay. In fact, this is so short, you can even do it mentally, no? So for example, yung number 1, you have forceful, persuasive, yung mas malaki pala, driving, driven, talkative, patient, conventional. Of those 4, which describes your personality? Okay, so let's say you're number 3. What you can do is you can either write patient or just count 3, 1. Okay, or just write 1, 2, 3, 4 headings and write patient under 3. And then you do it for the next slide. So let's say, for example, the second one is perfectionist. What's the first one? Forceful, persuasive, loyal, or you're a perfectionist. Okay, it's bigger. Sorry. So from there, you can choose which one describes yourself. Okay. So you do it for all, and then I'll give you a few minutes to do it. Think about yourself and your own personality, not necessarily what you want to be. Okay. And then, sige, I'll give the next steps in a while. Okay. So the first step is, can you write down which, for every row, which word, just one, describes you the best? Okay. So yeah. If there's also a word you don't understand, you can ask me, no? So for the third line, it's goal-oriented, friendly, consistent, and cautious. In the third line, which one describes you? So write it down. So at the end, you're gonna have an answer per column. Most probably you will have an answer per column, okay? Of course, you could have all just in one column. So number 4, competitive, demonstrative, steady, or exacting. Which of these 4 describes you? Choose one and write it under the column. 5, decisive, optimistic, stable, systematic. Okay. And next, strong-willed, column 1. Column 2, polished. Polished means it's like you're very much into what's the right way to behave, manners, relaxed, precise. And last, you have independent, sociable, modest, and compliant. Okay. Okay, so if you're finished with that, the next step is you have to count how many of the 4 columns you have total. So for example, in number 1, if you chose 4, then your score is 4. If you chose 6 in number 3, then it's 6. Okay. So tabulate how many you have per column. So you will have a score for the first column, the second column, the third column, and the fourth column. Okay, so I have no idea you're able to follow, no? But just in case, can someone write on the chat if they have a combination so we can see what, let's say, a sample score? Meron ba? Oh, yan, perfect. Who's this? Lawrence. Okay, si Lawrence, sa column 1, 0 siya. Sa column 2, 4. Sa column 3, 1. And sa column 4, 2. So that means Lawrence is a number 2 type of person. Okay? So that's what that means. So if you had more in number 4, you'd be a number 4 person. More number 3, you'd be a number 3 person. Si Rai is a 2-person, 2-column person, and ano yung kay Andre? 1, 0, 2, 3. O sige. O yan, ito. Wow, si Gian, tayo siya sa 2 and 3. Okay, I will explain what that means. Okay? So what does it mean first? Okay. If you have the most answers in the first column, you are, I'll give you a code, you are a red person. Okay? We symbolize the red person as being a warrior. Okay? Next, if you are a talkative person, you are what we call in colors, your color is yellow. You are a yellow person. And the third is green. If you are, most answers are number 3 column, you are what we call the great mother. Okay? Yung second pala, yellow, medicine woman. And last, if you are conventional, you are what we call the good king. So you are color blue. Okay? So now most of you have a color. Okay? And so what I will do now is I will explain what each color means. Okay, so actually I said the red, I'll just do it again. But it's near each other. Okay. So what does it mean? Let's start with this. Oh, yellow, okay. So I put it there. You wanna flash it?
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Let me just load the
Sige.
file. Oops. Can it be seen, sir? No.
Di pa.
Okay. Ayan.
Yan. Sige, can you make it a little bit? Okay, so this is the yellow person. It means you are a person who is visionary, creative, inspired, imaginative. You're sparky, demonstrative, enthusiastic. It means you are a creative type of person. Okay? So that's if you are yellow. What about the rest? Okay, next is the red. I'll post the red. This is column 1, no? Yan, sige. So yan naman, red.
Okay. Hold on, sir. Sorry.
So it's okay.
Okay. Here it is.
Red. So red is the warrior. It means you are a competitive type of person. You're a person who likes to be involved in competition. You are very confident. Yeah, you instill belief. Okay, so those are all the different traits of being a red. Call to action, rousing, confrontational at times, challenging. Okay. Third, but not the least, we have the green. Okay, the green means you are a people kind of person. Compassionate, encouraging, supportive, receptive, welcoming, helpful, sharing. You're into relationships. Okay, so that's if you are green. Green is column 3, no? And of course, the last column is the blue one, and that's column 4. And that is, what if you are blue? Okay, the blue is the good king. Sets objectives, deliberate. Itong strategy, no? Logical, precise, informative, methodical, analytical, into assessment, attends to detail. Okay, so these are the 4 different colors, and we end with this column 4, the blue. Okay, so these are what we call the different colors of the spectrum of what is known as the leadership potential theory of Carl Jung. Now, all the things I said, they depict a color, and you have a color. Some of you have a tie, as you can see there. And I give you a list of what it means to be that color. But that's the good news. There is some bad news. If you have a color, you can also at times be dysfunctional. Okay, so what is the dysfunctional nature of someone who is red? Well, a red person at times can be over competitive. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I'm sure in life you've met people who are very annoying because they are over competitive. Like everything is a competition. No? So that's one example. Another is if you are a warrior and you're red, sometimes you're not very considerate of how people feel. So that's the second thing. Okay, so that's with the red. What about if you are, what's the next one? Yellow. Okay. What is the disadvantage or what's the bad news about being yellow? Okay. Well, when we're yellow, the problem is sometimes we can be a little crazy. Okay. Well, crazy in the sense that we do things our way, and sometimes we don't like rules. Okay? We're the type na because we are creative, we tend to go with how we see and what we think life should be like. Okay, so that's the yellow. Okay, next you have the green. Now, what would be the disadvantage, the drawback of being green? Okay, well, some people who are very much into relationships, and most of you, I'm sure, can share a sample or a case, is that they tend to be very sensitive. Okay, small things bother them. Small things affect them. You can also be very needy. You can be also very demanding in terms of your relationship, and so dependent on others. And worst of all, people who are green, sometimes they don't focus on their work. They're only interested in relationships. Okay, so that's the bad news if you're green. And of course, the last, we have the blue. The good king, which is also in a way the thinking part of strategy. What is the problem naman if you are blue? Well, sometimes when you are blue, you can be very OC. Okay? You can be fixated with rules and demand that rules be done and executed. And sometimes you will lack creativity. You will also be very rigid. Yan ang problema ng blue. Okay? So we have all of these four, and these four different characteristics. How do they help us in becoming a good leader if we know, if we are aware, no? And firstly, I'd like to tackle pala, what if you're the same? Okay, they're all related. Okay. So you see this one, this lesson, it was given to me in 2020. I attended a seminar on Shakespeare and leadership. And Richard Olivier, he taught this, and he taught about how the relationship of Henry V was to management. And his basic premise was this. For us to achieve the goals that we set, we all have to be, in many ways, good actors. Good actors, why? Well, because we have to play the different roles that you saw. A good king, a warrior, a great mother, and a medicine woman. All the different colors, if we are to achieve our goals. So if we set out to achieve a goal, at times we have to be yellow. Even if we're blue, we have to be red. Even if our own personality dictates that we are green. Okay. So achieving your goals means being able to adjust and understand, hey, I'm a red person, but I should be doing that green stuff, talking to people and helping them out, even if that's not my nature. And that's the answer of the tie. If you have a tie, it is actually good news. Because what that's trying to tell you is you are already a person who understands that, or maybe subconsciously, that you are two colors in this four-color spectrum. Okay, so that's why understanding what color you are, and also understanding what color the people you work with are, can help. Because sometimes it's very clear, especially for young people, they meet people at work who are very much into relationships. So they get scared to impose rules. Kasi that's the blue part, diba? But then it all goes back to what is the basic goal we want to achieve. Okay. So I'd like to tie it up with the last slide, and that's this, no? Actually, this is the slide I was showing, right? That when we talk about the strategy part, okay, she can show this. It's the last slide. So knowing your color and knowing how what the color of others are will help you achieve your goal. Okay, so this is actually the last slide. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. So, I actually use this a lot in my seminars, no? And this is actually what I try to talk about. No? When we have goals, we talk about the strategy and the execution because we always talk about those two aspects. No? And strategy part, we can talk about that being a lot blue, thinking about the focus, the balance, the stretch. When we talk about execution, ayan, red na yan. Okay, red. And if you need to talk to people, green. Okay. And of course, a little of yellow, no? But these two things, they are important because we can distinguish, wait, I need to be blue now. I need to think about, not just for today, but really the month and the project we have that's coming in the next sem. No? So pag ganun ang tingin, we try to have a blue perspective. But when it comes to, hey, we need to get something done, there's a deadline this week. How do I talk to this person to help me out? How do I come up with a creative way to solve a problem? How do I make someone, give someone the support they need? Again, it all goes back to the different colors we have. And as you take on this journey of leadership, you're definitely going to encounter a time where you're going to have to choose to be a color that maybe it's not part of your personality. Okay, but that's why it's called leadership potential theory. So as we do this, we achieve our potential as leaders and as people. Okay? So that's actually the greatest benefit. So that is the short personality test, and hopefully it can help you when you think about the things you have to do in order to formulate or execute something, whether it be in your org or in class.
Irish.
All right, so thank you so much, Sir Benji, for that insightful talk and exercise. I actually agree that, we have different ways of leading, various traits on how we appear to others. But at the end of the day, we lead by example because, that's how people see what lies ahead and act swiftly to counter any challenges along the way. So now let's open the floor to some questions. So guys, you feel free to leave down a chat box, or you can raise your hand and unmute yourself. Come on, guys. This is our chance to clarify something or perhaps ask some tips from our keynote speaker.
Hi, sir. Maybe I'll start.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So now that we know that we need, you mentioned a while ago that we need to understand the color that we are and also the color that our team members are. So now that, for example, we already know that the colors of everyone in the team, but what if, for example, when one of your teammates refuse to be flexible or do the things that are required of them because they feel like maybe it's because they're not just comfortable with it, they're scared, or maybe it's just because they're stubborn. So how do you deal with that kind of person?
Yeah, actually, that's very difficult at times. Now, I attended a seminar on the Nordic business practices, and I was asking something very similar. And they were saying, oh, well, the best is just to fire the person. Obviously, that's not relevant to us or in your case, no. But that's just a description how difficult it can be. Well, I think that this is something that happens all the time. And I think that depending on how uncooperative or unhelpful people are, definitely you will need some sort of intervention. No? And one way kasi is that you can do the intervention by, by first awareness lang. Na, that's why I like this test. It's so simple. You just give it to people, then you can see it. When I did this, I remember I was asked to do a seminar in Hong Kong. I did this, and I was so amazed. People were writing. I had the senior manager. He was writing, and my God, all his answers were red. He was a totally red person. So doon pa lang nakita ko na sometimes it comes out there, your personality. So what you can do is you can find out a little more about that person's personality and see how it can mesh. And then if you have a problem, you can maybe escalate it to someone who is of a higher position, to talk about, in a friendly way, oy, ikaw, I mean, hey, maybe you need some mentorship, ganyan, we noticed you took the test, you're a red person, baka we need to put you more in this kind of a role, so, this role will be difficult for you, but it might help you grow. No? I have to tell you this though, in University of California, Rice University, when you enter an MBA there, what they do is they take personality tests, not this test probably, and they really suggest they group you with people who they know you will have conflict with. And my first reaction was, oh my God, that's going to be a very hellish 1.5 years. But that's how they do it. Because they want people to, they don't want people of the same color all doing things because that would make life very easy. So what they actually do is they create the chaos. No? Now, of course, that's different. No? That's taking MBA. Kayo naman, you're trying to achieve something. But in the same way, the difference actually gives opportunities then for people to grow. Of course, it can be annoying for some, but if we look at it in that way, then I think people will be more receptive.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so thank you, sir. How about the others? Do you have any questions in mind?
Well, I have something to add, no? Because the guy who taught me this, he always wanted us to remind us that when you're a yellow person and you want to be blue, it doesn't mean you're fake. I mean, it may seem fake and it may seem like, wow, you're so plastic, you're doing something you're not, no? But he says that the main thing that should tie you together is your goal. If you have personal goals you want your organization to achieve, then that's the bigger perspective. It's not about I'm acting so out of character, I'm being blue, hindi naman ako blue, no? It's more of where do I want to go? And I know if I get there, it's not it's just by circumstance that the situations that will present themselves will be a need of different colors.
Actually, sir, I have a question. Like,
So yeah.
what values are most important to you as a leader, and how do you respond to criticism, given that it's inevitable to happen?
What values? Okay. Yung I think a concept like this is very developmental in terms of developing people to be leaders. Okay. So I think the ability of a person to be very agile and very responsive is important. I'll explain why. Because you see, in leadership theory, and forget that, in reality, there's also the concept of situational leadership. Na parang, okay, this is the situation now, what are you gonna do? So that's a little in contrast to this, because this is about, oh, you're blue, you can do things that will make you more green, something like that. But there are problems that come every day and they need to be solved now and they're not going to be solved in the future. So what happens then? Okay. That's why a leader, I think, should be a person who understands both, understands that there's a part about developing yourself and others, and there's a now reality that you have to do something. So I think those two are very important. Because if you're only looking medium term, how do you solve problems for today? And if you're only looking at today, how do you develop yourself for the long term, for the medium term? So I guess that's it. An understanding that we have to be, in a way, flexible. No?
I agree, sir. Thank you so much for that answer. And how about the others? Do you have any additional questions, sir?
Hello po. May
Yeah.
tatanong po ako.
Oh, sige.
Tanong
What's
ko
your
lang
question?
po, can everyone really be a leader? because there are times that naiisip ko po na baka hindi talaga ako baka hindi ko talaga deserve maging leader and baka hanggang follower lang talaga ako. And sometimes I feel like a fraud kapag halimbawa gusto ko maging leader pero parang hindi naman ako parang effective na leader.
Mm. Okay, that's a very interesting question. Um, yeah, actually, but the thing we have to determine, okay, kasi may concept rin ng followership. People are good, they actually are better as followers and they can support more a leader. But I think leadership kasi is it's an opportunity. It's not every time naman in our lives we are the leaders. Like for some people who get it more often than not. And so it's a good opportunity to try out if we can do it, you know. Now, it is true that when people are not the leader, they can actually function better. And some actually do not want to be the leader because being a leader means, you know, the buck stops there, the responsibility is there. But I would encourage that when opportunities do arrive, that you should try it out. Kasi, you know, those opportunities may not come back, and who knows? No, I've seen people who they don't seem like they're very good leaders, no, but they are. Personally, ako kasi I can feel with what you said, no, kasi I'm also a very reluctant type of leader, in the sense na someone else na lang, you know, or something like that. But I think there are opportunities. There will be, and so maybe it's a good opportunity. It's a good thing to even sometimes ask for them. So yeah, try it out. It's the best.
Thank you po.
Okay, so any questions, everyone?
I may question din ako.
Okay,
sure.
Justin.
Good evening, sir. I'm Justin. So, if I understand you correctly, so you talked about how an understanding of personality can be leveraged to achieve better leadership and achieve more efficient work in organizations. So my question is, I was wondering, sir, if it's possible the other way around, that can we leverage work to achieve a certain personality type, especially when people are subjected to challenging environments, challenging work that are outside their personalities? Do you think that work can affect their personality in turn?
Yes, definitely. I think that in many ways you will find out what kind of personality you have, no? When you are exposed to especially pressure situations. Ang hindi lang masyado maganda doon is sometimes because when people fail or when they don't think they lived up to the expectation, they really get disheartened or even destroyed, no? So yun lang, no? It takes a certain amount of maturity rin to say na kunwari nag-try out ka sa PNG, grabe doon, or you know, nag-try out ka sa McKinsey and people there, they're crazy workaholics, they're so demanding, and you didn't live up to that. You might feel a sense of, oh my God, I'm worthless or something like that. That's the only disadvantage I see there. But yes, definitely, when you have work, you will see the real you comes out there, you know, like what will you do when you have to think on your feet, when you know, you can't just make bola, you can't just BS your way. You will see it there. So the answer is yes. And in your org work, I think in CE and stuff, you will see it evolve, no? But as the pressure mounts, yeah, that's when you see. I've seen people, they completely break down when there's a deadline, you know, and the opportunity to, you know, this red mentality of having to deliver better than the rest can make some really affect some in a very negative way if they fail. So yun lang. But the answer to your question is yes, definitely.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Or maybe one question from me. So maybe last question. So I'm just curious about conflict resolution, sir. So can you tell us about a time when you didn't agree with something, but had to do it anyway? You know, when it's beyond your values, your core values, so called.
Well, in school, there are many opportunities, well, when we are in conflict with people, that the resolution, or when it doesn't work out, it um, the consequences sometimes they're not as big, no? But when you get to work, it becomes a little more difficult, because when you have issues with your manager, don't like her style, you think she's a crazy boss, mga ganyan, no? And ako personally, I've experienced that. That's a little more difficult kasi wala, that's your career at stake, Oh my God, it's so hard to, you'll just resign and then, mahirap yun eh. Pag sa school, pwede pang I don't like this org, I'll join another org. But when it's work, it becomes a little more serious and a lot more difficult. Because then you're not really the same, especially if you're working with the boss. Let's say, give you an example, let's say you're the boss who terrorizes you, diba? Oh, how is that? Most people, what they will do is they'll just quit. No? So, yeah, you could do that, but then wala nang conflict negotiation done. You've already given in. So, but what's important is, I think you have to stand up for yourself in a very polite, respectful way. And I think that's the guiding principle that I've always had. So always try to assert yourself in such a way that at least if you get asked to leave or whatever, teacher, how you feel confident that you did what you could.
That actually makes sense, sir. Okay, thank you so much, sir, for that. So, Sal, would you like to take over the floor?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so thank you, Prof. Benji. So now let's have a picture taken with your certificate.
Okay.
So this certificate is awarded to Prof. Benjamin Sandoval for imparting his knowledge and valuable insights about effective communication in leadership during UP Circle of Entrepreneurs General Assembly, given this 4th day of November 2021. So please spotlight. Okay, so ayan, picture 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you po.
Thank you for coming,
Have a great
sir.
evening.
Salamat. Okay.
Thank you
Bye.
so much, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you po.
Bye.
Bye po. Okay, so let's now move on with our next presenter. So the one who manages our Discord and PLOE. So let's welcome our AVP for Hub Development, Miss Erin Reyes.
Hi,
Miss
hi
A.
guys. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, hi. Okay, I'll keep this short kasi HubDev naman is more of logistics and giving you guys a platform talaga for, as an alternative for the tambayan. Okay, so updates sa Discord. We now have the alumni category. So matagal nang ni-request to. So we have a text and voice channel for them. So if you check the Discord, nandun yan. And then nag-add ako ng newcomers channel just to monitor who enters the server kasi, baka may mga naliligaw. And then, if you guys saw the rules selection, super dami ng rules. So, yung isa is if you're a mem app or alumni. Next one is yung department, and then yung ad hoc, and then yung leisure. So, the reason for that is because if meron kasing rules, it's easier to grant permissions. Like, meron kasing text channels na nakalimit lang to a certain rule. For example, yung ad hocs. So sila lang yung may access to a certain channel to keep things more security for them basically kasi mayroong mga files na sila lang dapat yung makita. And then easier mentions. For example, yung leisure, that's actually the main purpose of that one. Para, for example, you need people na kasama sa movies, you can tag those people na may rules for movies, or yung mga games, for example, yung Mobile Legends, League of Legends, COD, stuff like that. So yun yung purpose for that. So sana, please guys, get rules over there. Okay. Next one is text channels. Ayun nga, as I've mentioned, there are team exclusive channels. So nandun siya sa org work portion, org work category. So um yung text channels over there, depende sa role nyo. Kayo lang nakakita nun. So you can dump your important files and reminders over there para hindi nagka-clutter sa messenger and easier for you guys to see. Also, there are additional text channels. So na-request ni Miss President yung opportunities channel para easier to see for you guys and para hindi ma-flood sa messenger. And then there's also the mem exclusive announcements and then photo documentations na ginawa ni Ma'am Irish. Next one is the voice channel. So if you guys saw, merong mga limited na voice channels kasi there are people nga na mas nakaka-focus if there are only 4 people sa call. So choose na lang kayo ng voice channel na suitable for your social battery. Yes. Also, if you think na there are not enough voice channels over there, which I kind of doubt. Pero just in case na gusto nyo ng custom voice channel, you guys can click yung create meeting room or create study room. So it will automatically create a temporary voice channel. And then once you leave, automatically mawawala siya. So it removes clutter sa Discord server natin. Also, new music bots kasi merong mga, nakasuhan. So like, we need new music bots. Actually, si Boss Gian, nag-PM siya, nag-request for new music bots pag may nakita siya. So thank you, boss. And then there's specific text channels for them kasi para hindi nagsa-spam sa other text channels basically. Para nakalimit lang dun sa text channel na yun yung mga automatic messages from the bot channels. Next is yung PLOE Facebook group. So it's basically a group made for those people na interested sa entrepreneurship. So basically we're giving them an avenue to get to meet people na same interests with them, share their thoughts, and discover opportunities na makakatulong sa entrep journey nila. So we included membership questions and then yung UPCE newsletter G-form. So lumalabas yun pag nag-request sila to join the group. And then there's also group rules. And right now, we're collaborating with ad hoc teams. Yung EA nag-start na ng cross-posting. So yes, support EA. And then tentative content. Right now, merong mga pinopost na opportunities there, like yung summit. But yeah, we'll be posting more summits and seminars over there. And we'll be posting talks from people of different backgrounds. So for the other postings, surprise na lang. So guys, watch out for other posts sa PLOE, right? Also, if there's anything na you think could help your experience sa Discord server, feel free to send it dun sa feedback portion para we'll make it more better for you guys to make your Discord experience better. Also, if gusto nyo magpa-tutorial, G lang naman, diba? Okay lang. Yes, that's all for Hub Dev. Yay!
Okay, thank you, Miss Irene. So now, guys, do you have any questions for her or about the LOE or the Discord? Feel free to chat it below. Wala? Okay. So, ayun. Wala namang questions. Okay. So, thank you, Miss Irene, for your initiatives. And let's maximize the use of our Discord. Please know that it's 24/7 open for you, our siblings. So now, how about our initiatives for apps and other undertakings? Fret not. Here's the team apps and our AVP for recruitment, Mr. Andrew Dular, will discuss more about their plan.
Okay, so hi guys. Wait, narinig ba ako, first of all?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yun nga, ako si Andre. So basically, quick update lang siya of what has happened, tapos plans for the near future and what's happening right now and again in the near future. So if you didn't know, the work of team apps starts pretty early in the sem. starts with planning, of course, and picking a theme. So right now, ang napick namin na theme ay comics. I know people think like baka ka lang ibang people like superhero siya specifically, but it's actually comics. Pero of course, since a lot of the comics that we consume are superheroes, parang medyo parang maraming superhero things like that. Pero again, it's comics. Tapos, that allows us freedom due to its versatility kasi di ba, hindi lang siya superheroes and other stuff like Garfield and stuff. So, yun. Tapos, right after that, we started kagad sa parang applicant gathering process. We did this by three things. Of course, parang number one, nagkaroon kami ng booth sa OCF pati sa BL Fair. Tapos, the more successful parts ay yung mga pubmats na parang release natin. Tapos, yung pinaka-successful so far ay DP Blast. So, yun. I think a lot of people naman na sumali na sa DP Blast, yun naman yung nangyari. Pati yung sample. I would have loved na, may sample dito pa. Pero, I forgot. But anyways, right now, we have 29 applicants. Tapos, yeah. Next slide, please. Okay, so, guys, sumobra yata. Okay, so yun. Okay, so yung plans namin ay, yung pinakamalaking malaking comment from last application process ay, medyo matagal sila bago na-integrate sa org. So right now, we're focusing on that, na i-integrate kagad sila sa org faster. So we're trying to do this in three ways. Parang number one, early internship period. So mamaya or bukas, pero probably mamaya, magkakaroon ng results for internship. Tapos gusto namin to gawin, obviously, kasi una, gusto namin para malaman kagad na if parang C is right for them. So number two, para mas marami silang time para mag-adjust sa work, basically. Tapos, isa pang initiative para makuha namin yung parang plan na yun or yung parang goal na yun ay include sa most ng org bonding activities like movies and tambays and comwars. So, more on that later. Tapos, from team members. Tapos since tinatry natin sila integrate quicker into the org, we're gonna give them some sway in how we run things. Basically, magkaroon sila ng parang voting rights. Pero since parang syempre applicants pa na sila, medyo mapupool sila. Unlike sa members, mas malakas yung sway nila. Pero right now, may sway yung mga applicants natin. Tapos, establish good org bonds. Tapos, yun, obviously, di ba, parang may nakagad silang org barkada. Para may close na kagad sila. May silang taong pwedeng tanungan pag may mga tanong sila tungkol sa org. Kasi of course, applicants pa na sila. Tapos may mga questions sila sa org, basically. Tapos, yung criteria right now ay, number one, evolving to. Kasi I think it's pretty obvious naman na parang sa experience natin, pati sa mga makita mo sa mga friends mo, di ba? Parang this sem's pretty, like at least heavier than the last two sems. So, right now, we're trying to adjust to that. So, yung ngayon ay meron ay batch and body task, internship, tapos entry report, trivia nights, talents nights. Yung final interview natin, unlike dati na sobrang objective siya sa constitution, try natin siya integrate sa trivia nights. So parang more on that, parang magkakaroon tayong trivia nights soon. Tapos hindi lang siya puro constitution stuff. Magkakaroon din ng parang mga fun facts, ganun. Tapos yung sa final interview, magiging more subjective siya. Tapos obviously attendance, like makapag sumasali ka ng GAs, EA, basically org events. Kasama din sa criteria. Tapos, okay, so quick reminder lang since napag-usapan na yun yung batch and body task. Body task ay deadline na sa Tuesday. So if you haven't like done that yet, make sure to follow up with your bodies and follow up with your body members para makapag-plan na kayo. Kasi again, magkakaroon na ng deadline. Magde-deadline sa Tuesday. So, ayun. I think we can go to the next slide. Okay, so what's going on right now? Later, magkakaroon ng internship results. Tapos ito yung mga teams na nag-accept ng interns. Entrepcore, YEC, Entrep Academy, Team Apps, Team MEMS, PLOE, pati HubDev. Tapos, okay. So since nandito yung mga comheads, I really want you to make sure that they're part of the team and introduce them to the team and what the team does, 'di ba? Kasi yung assumption dito ay they're gonna work for the team that they're interning for right now. So I think everyone would agree with me naman na pag naging member na sila, mas better magiging performance nila if parang may overview na sa kung ang gagawin nila. So yun yung parang gusto ko mangyari sa internship na parang alam nila gagawin nila pag member na talaga sila. Para at least makapag-plan ahead sila kagad. Tapos, obviously, give them reasonable tasks. Nothing too hard, obviously. Kasi, again, pa lang sila, like, first, magiging interns pa lang sila. Pero don't give them do nothing jobs na parang binibigyan sa atin dati na, okay, mag-print ka nito, ganyan. Give them something meaningful na na parang magiging mag-feel talaga na part sila ng team, basically. Tapos, obviously, I mean, this applies not just sa internship, like with every relationship you have, try to be nice to them, di ba? Build good rapport with them para mas magustuhan nila mag-interact with you and like try to impress you, basically. Yun. So, yun. Yun, internship mamaya may results. Okay, so we can go to the next slide. Okay, so since sabi ko ang daming nahihirapan, hindi lang yung nag-apply sa sa mga apps pati sa mga other people, magkakaroon kami ng new additions sa team para mas madali din sa kasi marami ding taong nahihirapan, mahirap mag-respond. So, new additions, si John De La Cruz, pati si Ro Pineda. So, yan, kabatch ko to si John, tapos si Ro, sobrang bait sana nag-app ako. So, pretty sure naman I can work with them pretty well. So, yun, I would like to welcome them to the team. So, I'm not sure if they're here, pero yun. Yun lang, just to give you guys an update on team apps. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team Ops and AVP for recruitment, Mr. Delar, first order from the recruitment. So, if you have any questions to Team Ops, please drop your message na lang here sa chat.
May apps pa dito. Baka may gusto kayo sabihin. Saya ba kayo, Char? Kung di kayo masasabihin niyo kay Andre.
Papasayahin ko kayo, pre.
Ang pangit. Okay.
Okay, sige.
Okay. So, actually, his presentation really reminded me of the old days when I was still an app. You know, how Team Up took care of us, although that was F to F, but that's the thing, regardless of the hurdles we're facing this pandemic, your team was able to come up with this kind of initiative for our dearest app. So thank you for your care and guidance for the whole app process. So I think wala naman ng tanong. So if you have the team apps, of course, we have the team mems naman to tell us some tracks about their progress, ganyan. So here with us, our AVP for Team MEMS, Miss Clarissa Bongaling.
Yeah. Hello everyone. My name is Clarice I'm from Team MEMS. And before anything else, guys, I'd like to introduce to you our team. So we have Faith Sapit and Anton Lee. Ayan. Kung nandyan man kayo, guys, please say hi sa ating chat box. And so first, i-discuss ko muna is yung about sa membership natin. So during the start of the semester, we had our reaffirmation period. So you can see here the percentage turnout per committee. So our overall turnout for this semester is 80.51%. So ayan, hopefully maging 100% na siya next semester. And also, I'd like to congratulate yung PubCom natin kasi sila yung may pinakamataas na turnout. So halos lahat ng MEMS from last semester sa pub is nag-reaffirm this semester. So ayan, 95.83%. And kasama na rin sa re-aff period natin is yung re-affle natin. So, na-announce na namin yung winner for our re-affle. So, ayan, congratulations kay AJ Arias for winning 500 pesos. And then, we added a new membership classification, which is the Honorary Member. So, inopen namin yung application during ng start ng semester. And right now, we have 6 Honorary Members. And same then with committee shifting, inopen din namin siya nitong October. And then for our membership standing, we've sent out yung membership standing ng lahat ng MEMS sa primary emails ninyo, guys. So if you haven't seen your membership standing, please check your primary emails. If wala talaga kayong na-receive naman guys, please message me para we can recheck your membership standing. And then we have here yung mid-sem evals and end-sem evals. So for our mid-sem evals, na-post na namin siya nung last week of October, and supposedly deadline dapat nung Sunday, October 31. Pero since Hell Week and maraming ginagawa, alam ko busy yung mga mems natin, we decided to extend it. We will be announcing yung extended deadline siguro soon after the reading break. Pero ayun, you can answer it. Open pa naman yung form. So maybe after this GA, kung may time, free time kayo guys, pwede nyo nang sagutan yung mid-sem evals, especially for our members na may position this semester. And then for end-sem evals, ang target date namin for this is January 21 to 28. So same lang din with mid-sem evals, but the difference is 30% siya ng grade niyo. So later, i-discuss natin yung membership grading criteria for this semester. So ayun guys, sagutan niyo yung evals kasi importante rin siya as part of your grade, and para na rin maging aware yung co-officers ninyo kung paano ba yung naging performance nila during the first half of the semester. Next slide, please. Ayan na yung membership grading system natin. So, meron tayong 4 na components. So, tinailorin talaga namin yung grading system base sa online setup natin. So, ang tinira lang namin is yung tingin namin important para sa ating MEMS. So, ayan, meron tayong 5 MEM types. So, first, yung good standing with position, and pagsamahin ko na rin yung developing with position. Ayan yung may same grading criteria. So, we have for attendance, you need to have a minimum of 3 events to get the full 30%. And then for MEMS with position, we have the mid-sem and end-sem evals. So mid-sem evals is 20% of your grade, so you need to answer that. And the end-sem evals is 30% kasi yun na yung kumbaga pinaka-evaluation ng performance ninyo throughout the semester. And then we have the committee grade. So yun yung grade na ibibigay ng IC sa inyo. So that's 20% of your grade. And then for the good standing without position and developing without position, we only have attendance and yung committee grade since yung evals naman is for officers lang. So again, minimum of 3 events, 50%, and then committee grade is 50%. For honorary members naman, since ito nga yung mga members na may execom position in other orgs, so mas lenient kami when it comes to grading them since we understand na mabigat din yung workload as execom officer. So we only need a minimum of 2 events for you to get the 50%, the full 50% for attendance, and then you have 50% for committee grade. So you can see here naman yung range ng grade na need yung ma-attain para maging good standing. So for you to be in good standing, you need at least 75. And then for developing naman, ito yung 60 to 75 yung grade. And then less than 60 is probationary. So di ko lang na-include dito sa slide, but pwede rin maging probationary if, for example, nag-resign kayo tapos next semester, nag-resign kayo sa position nyo this semester, and then next semester, probationary na kayo. And then, in-include ko din dito yung nakalagay sa ating consti para ma-remind din yung everyone about sa rules natin for expulsion. So, any member that does not reaffirm for 2 consecutive semesters will automatically be subject for expulsion. So, again, yung mga, kung meron mang hindi nag-reaffirm this semester, make sure to reaffirm the next semester para maiwasan yung expulsion. And then, next, any probationary member that does not reaffirm immediately the following semester shall automatically be subject for expulsion. So, yung mga nasenda namin ng membership standing and naka-receive na under probationary sila, please make sure to reaffirm the next semester. And then lastly, any member that is identified as a probationary member for 2 consecutive semesters will automatically be subject for expulsion. So ayun nga yung mga probationary ngayon, pakiiwasan na lang na maging under probationary ulit next semester para maiwasan yung expulsion. And makikita niyo naman kanina yung membership grading criteria natin. So minimum of 3 events, guys, ayun. Para para maging in good standing or at least developing tayo. Next slide. Ayan, we have the mid-sem EVAs. So as I've said earlier, i-extend na namin to. So makikita niyo dito yung Google Forms natin, and meron din tayo dito nung link natin for the Google Forms for the mid-sem EVA. So it's tinyurl.com/UPCE31-1 mid-sem EVAs. So pwede na kayo magsagot later pagkatapos ng GA natin. And then we will be collating your answers and sisend namin sa mga email ninyo yung summary ng evaluation para maging aware din yung officers natin kung ano pa yung pwede nilang ma-improve and kung ano yung nakitang strengths ng co-officers nila sa kanila. Ayun. Next slide. Ayan. We have the member development initiatives and events. So on your left, ito yung mga initiatives natin na ongoing and nasimulan na nung start pa ng semester. So first, we have the weekly self-care check. So makikita nyo guys na may pinupost kaming prompts weekly. And di lang kami nakapag-post guys itong last week since Hell Week talaga. So pero we'll be posting this week, siguro sa weekend. Ayun, please ni-encourage ko kayo guys na magsagot din kasi it's one way to engage din with the other members para kahit pa paano naman is makilala nila kayo through your answers. Tsaka fun naman guys yung prompts. So ayun. And then next natin is yung birthday celebrants. So previous semesters natin, yung birthday celebrants is usually monthly siya pinupost, pero we decided this semester to post it on your exact birth date para naman kahit pa paano ma-feel ng siblings natin na special sila sa araw na yon. So ayun, nung October na post naman namin lahat ng October celebrants and with the greetings, and this November nagsisimula na kami mga lekta ng birthday greetings. So if ever na message ko man kayo about the birthday greetings, ayun, pa-check na lang ng messenger ninyo if ever. And then we have the couch night. So yung couch night is basically tambay, pero nag-alat na kami ng day na para aware yung everybody na sa araw na to ay pwedeng may memes or apps na nandun sa Discord, and pwede kayong mag-usap ng kahit ano or mag-chikan kayo or mag-rant, whatever. So it's every Friday at 9 p.m. And may plan na rin kaming maglabas ng sensing form about sa topics na gusto nyong mapag-usapan if ever lang naman. Kasi baka nahihiya yung iba nating memes na pumunta sa couch pag Friday since baka nahihiya sila sa ibang memes natin. So kung if ever na may gusto kayong topic or gusto nyong spontaneous lang na chikahan, you can send it there sa ating sensing form. And then for movie nights, nagkaroon na tayo ng movie night nung end nung September. And then this week we will be having our second movie night. I think baka most likely sa Friday since yun yung nanguna sa poll, and sa ating apps and memes, don't forget to vote sa poll natin sa Facebook group ng Multiverse and sa Facebook GC ng Multiverse for the schedule. And the next naman is the grievance form, now called the performance feedback form. So pinalitan na to guys ng performance feedback form to remove the negative connotation about grievances. So hindi lang naman grievances yung pwede nyo isend. So pwede rin kayo mag-send ng suggestions, recommendations, kung ano pa yung pwede nating gawin sa org. And feedback na rin sa performances, for example, ng IC or ng ibang ad hocs para naman ayun, aware din kami kung ano pa bang pwede naming magawa. And then sa right side naman is what's next. So ito yung mga plano namin na gawin sa mga susunod na months. So we have the Kamustahan, Small Business Thread, HR Workshop, Committee Wars, and the SEM Ender Party. And ito yung performance feedback form natin. So you can send here your concerns, suggestions, or feedback about the MEMS, and pwede rin mag-send yung apps. And naka-include din dito sa ating feedback form yung feedback ninyo about the IC and the org. So pwede kayo mag-send anonymously guys kung nahihiya kayo, or kung may concern naman kayo na kailangan naming maging in touch with you, or kailangan naming mag-reach out with you, you can include your contact details sa form. So it's open naman until the end of the semester. And ito yung link, tinyurl.com/UPCE31-1PFF. So ayan, binabasa naman namin yan guys, yung check namin palagi. So if ever na mag-send kayo, sigurado naman na makikita agad namin. Next slide. Yeah. So we have the Kamustahan. So ito yung MEM check-up natin. There will be officers assigned to check up on MEMs through preferred platforms such as Discord, Messenger, Zoom, etc. So ito may mga officer in charge na mag-check sa ating MEMs. So yung schedule na to and officer assignment ay nakadepende sa availability ng MEMs and ng officers. So stay tuned na lang sa mga susunod na weeks or maybe this week about the Kamustahan. And then next, we have the small business thread. So ito, may magpo-post kami ng thread sa Facebook group natin about the small businesses of our members. So kung maaalala niyo sa RIA forms, tinanong namin dun kung meron ba kayong small business and kung okay lang na i-share yung Facebook page nyo or Instagram para ma-share namin sa Facebook group. So malay nyo baka magka-opportunities or para alam din ng MEMS kung sino ba sa MEMS natin yung may small businesses ngayon. Ayun. So next we have the HR workshop. So ito, hopefully by the end of November or maybe sa December, magawa namin yung HR workshop. So it's a workshop to enrich member skills in HR-related matters such as job interviews and resume writing. So last SEM, I think may HR workshop din tayo na inattendan ng, I think nilid siya ng mga interns, ng app interns natin. So ayun, magkakaroon ulit tayo niyan this semester. Next slide. Ayan, yung Comwars. So for this SEM's Comwars, magkakaroon kami ng collaboration with the team app. Since tatlo lang kaming team members, medyo mahirap mag-facilitate ng games since magkakaroon nga ng maraming changes when it comes to Comwars. So first, magkakaroon tayo ng DP Blast per committee. So ayan, pagalingan kayo guys ng DP. And then, yung plano sa Commerce is magkakaroon na ng asynchronous and synchronous. So last time is through the Facebook group. So nagko-comment kayo ng mga sagot niyo doon. Pero this time, plano na rin namin lagyan ng synchronous para talagang maka-interact ninyo yung mga kasama niyo sa committee. So it will be, mangyayari siya every Monday and Friday. So it will run from November 10 to December 10. So sa November 10, target posting namin ng mechanics for Commerce. And sa December 10 naman is the final day for the Commerce. So ito yung parang, kumbaga, main event na natin. So yung mga ibang games ng Monday and Fridays, yun yung parang free games natin. So meron pa tayong main event na pwedeng ganapin natin sa Zoom or sa Discord. So depende pa sa mga magiging plano namin ng team apps and team members. And then lastly, we have the SEM Ender Party. So ito sa end ito ng SEM, I think kasabay ng induction ball. So to celebrate the end of the SEM. So magkakaroon tayo ng maraming games, raffle, bingo, and other performances. So to officially close the SEM na rin. Ayun. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so thank you, Team Mams. I'm excited with our upcoming activities, to be honest. Thank you for your initiatives in making CE as inclusive as ever. Now, moving forward to our ad hoc, we have the Entrep Core, and this will be presented by the ad hoc chairperson, Mr. Paul Cedric Capuray.
Hello, good evening everyone. So for Entrepcore, few updates lang since ongoing pa rin yung operation namin for the ISCO Spirit Collection. So for this IGP, we released 2 shirts, the ISCO Sunflower Tea and the Oble X Padayon Tea. So and also one sweater din na same lang ng design ng isang shirt. So for for our KPIs, first yung sa Facebook. So nag-increase ng 354 likes yung Facebook page ng Oblation Nation. And then for the individual merch sales, currently yung optimistic level namin, optimistic target which is at 190 individual merch sales. So parang one item ng shirt regardless kung isang customer ka or what. The optimistic currently nasa 76% na siya, while yung pessimistic is at 131.82%. So na-reach na namin yung pessimistic target namin, and I think maganda yung optimistic rate ngayon. So in total, last night 145 na individual pieces ng shirts and sweater yung nabenta ng Entrepcore. So far so good naman with Entrepcore. Next slide please. So what's next? So ayun, since onti lang yun yung update about Entrepcore, we will have the next release, syempre December 12. So 12/12 release naman ng merchandise item. So I hope masuportahan nyo yung next release ng merch items on December 12. And then the last 2 bullets there are basically for the app. So if may apps man dito sa meeting na to, just to inform you kung ano yung gagawin sa Entrepcore, first is yung Oblation Nation Primer. So basically, first primer yan ng Oblation Nation na gagamitin for partnerships with other organizations para aware sila kung ano ba yung naging past performance ng Oblation Nation, kung ano na yung mga narating or achievements ng Oblation Nation. And then next is yung customer journey map. So in our goal na maging customer-centric nga, ang Entrepcore and Oblation Nation, gagawa tayo ng customer journey map wherein malalaman natin kung saan ba yung mga touch points and pain points ng customers natin para ma-address natin sila and improve yung overall na customer experience ng Oblation Nation customers. So that's all for Entrepcore. Very short lang since ongoing pa rin. And again, thank you everyone.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much, Mr. Kit, for that. And your plans for Entrepcore are truly exciting. So we'll absolutely watch that out. And to other participants in here, I hope buhay pa kayo kasi we have come to our last but absolutely not the least ad hoc of the century, the social enterprise. And this will be tackled by its chairperson, Ms. Janina Rodriguez. You have the floor.
Oh my gosh, na-shy naman ako. Ito pala yung last ad hoc. Anyways, hi guys, I'm Janina. I'm going to present to you the social enterprise ad hoc. So basically, it's the first time that UPCE will have C. So it is really very medyo slow pace kami compared to ad hocs, to the other ad hocs, since we are building the foundation for C. So for our general plans, to give you an idea on what C will do in this semester. So we'll establish the foundation of C as the social enterprise arm of CE. Then we will form a relationship with a long-term partner community for the organization. Then we will assist local businesses for the digital transformation of oh my god, the pressure ako, guys. They're transforming their businesses to widen their market reach, especially now they are affected by the pandemic. We will also serve as the marketing and logistics arm of the partner community. So for our KPIs, we will establish a new social media platform exclusively for C. Then establish a online business platform also coordinating C and a partner community. So it will be an online business platform that will be exclusive for them. We will just help them establish it. Then we will also form partnerships with other organizations in this project to coordinate and also gain help for publicity and promotions. Our aim is also to generate sufficient income or proceeds that's around 10,000 to 20,000 for the partner community. So for the next slide, I will somehow show you an overview for our timeline of activities. So we are currently in phase 2. So phase 1 is to establish contact with the chosen partner organization and project proposal creation. So as of now, we have established contact with two partner organizations, which I will introduce to you later. So we are currently in phase 2. We are doing our project plan, revising it, and we will set up our social media platforms around next week. So for phase 3, we'll start the online promotions and setup of the online stores. Phase 4, batch 1 of the project, and phase 5, the batch 2 of the project. However, it's not yet sure whether there will be 2 batches of the project. It is to be decided by my team around next week. So I will show you the 2 partner businesses that we have established contact with, which is NTFP EP Philippines. It is not by timber alone, which features timber products, sustainable timber products that can be used in our it can be used like parang laptop, parang we can use it as a laptop sleeve and everything, like everyday material. So ang plan there is like parang gumawa na design that is exclusive for UPC or like catered for college students, then sell it for them. Then the other partner, long-term partner business naman is RLGV Fruit Wine from Isabela Farmers. So this is basically, since RLGV does not have a parang way of doing business here in Manila, since they are based in Isabela, we will be the bridge to fill in the gap between that transition. Oh my God, wala na ako na words. Anyways, that's all for C. Thank you very much. Wait lang. We might also ask you guys, CMMs, for help in our publicity and promotion. So please abangan nyo na lang, and don't forget to like and share our social media collaterals. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, so thank you, C, and to all the committees that presented tonight. So siblings, let's continue to support our teams with their initiatives. So before ending our General Assembly, let's have the very last words of our dear President, Ms. Reza Rubino, to finish off our General Assembly for tonight.
Okay, so first of all, sorry nag-overtime, but I hope na parang di naman wasted time yung tingin nyo dito. But anyway, just a few general updates. So, ayun, as Clarice mentioned a while ago, so we will have kamustan in the following, actually starting this week. So how this will go about is that there will be assigned members who will be contacting like mems and apps. So don't be like weirded out. Baka kasi magulat kayo like, why is this person like contacting me? Kahit di naman kami close or whatever. So ayun, we divided like the members and apps sa team apps, team mems, and sa IC. So one of us will be contacting you in the following weeks to check in on you. So basically, like, it's very informal. You don't have to be pressured. Like, it's just our way of checking how are you, like how satisfied are you within the organization, and if you have like concerns or suggestions, if there's anything that you want to see like in the coming weeks or in the next semester that we can do something about. So ayun, and then the next update is the new PTM system. So basically PTM is like it's originally stood for please tag your mems. But it's just like our term that we use internally to like refer to the tagging of people to share the pubs. So ayun, I think we already deployed this naman, but just to let everyone know, so the new system is that instead of the VPs tagging all of the members under their committee, it would be the VPs tagging their project heads, and then the project heads tagging their team members. And then also for the members without position, those are the only people that the IC will be directly tagging. So this is a lot more efficient also, and apparently less burden than with the VPs to tag everyone. And then it can also be done in a more timely manner because ayun nga, there are less people to tag. So ayan, I think this has been for the main pubs. We understand naman na not every day you can share pub. Like even sharing a pub can be very taxing if you really have no energy na. So we're parang kind of requiring lang you to share only like the biggest pubs, like the main pubs of CE. So for the KPI for those shares, at least 75 shares from internal sana. So like we have 95 members right now, and then we have like 29 apps. So I think it's very realistic naman. And I think we were able to do it with like the main pub of the first release of Entrepcore as well as the main pub of EA. So we both reached the KPI. For the other minor pubs, like syempre still like you're encouraged to share all of the pubs of CE, but ayun, if only if you have energy. Like we understand, like we're not gonna force you to do things. Pero yeah, in support of the teams then, syempre, who work very hard for those things that are being shared. So ayun, kindly like do your best to click that share button. Okay, next is also Clarence mentioned na this, yung performance feedback form. So I just want to say that how we want to do this sana is like submit a feedback like as often as you can, like parang if like something popped in your head, like you wanna dapat may ganito or whatever, you can just go directly to tinyurl.com/upce31-31 pff to just type like whatever you have in mind. So sana like monthly, kahit na nag-send ka na before, like sana alam mo yun, like you update us also, like send an updated feedback at least like monthly para lang we know how we're doing. And ayun, I mentioned rin ni Clars kanina na we changed it to call it feedback because syempre it's not just the negative things naman, like we also want to hear the positive side, and we're trying to build a culture as well na feedback is more ano ba, like feedback is given more regularly, and that it's not associated with like only negative things. So para we can like it's easier for everyone and we can grow together. So last two things, sorry guys. Last two things. Okay, so fourth on the agenda is the YEC officership application. So if you remember, we postponed the our flagship project, YEC Young Entrepreneurs Convention. So originally it was scheduled January, February in the past years. But for this year, if you notice, diba yung EA, like we had to update nila kaya we have already 300 participants. In the past few years, like the regular face-to-face attendees of BizTalks of EA is usually 30 to 40 people because it's usually open to MEMS and apps only. So for this year, yun nga, since we postponed YEC to the end of the next SEM, parang our idea was that EA would take its place as our big project for this semester. And I think we can all agree that they lived up to the expectation naman. So with that, we're also opening na yung officer applications for YEC. YEC is temporarily scheduled as the final event of CE Week, which we believe is fitting since it's our flagship project now. So it's our closing project for the year this year. So to give like the team enough time to plan as well, we're opening it as early as December 20. So December 2021 dapat yan. 2021. So if you notice here, it's written it's open to apps in good standing, and baka rin kanina na nag-announce like you might be weirded out bakit nag-open ng internships for YEC wala namang YEC team this sem. So this is the reason, parang we're hoping that the interns for YEC this sem will be like the people who will actually be part of the team then. Like syempre they're not forced, but we're for YEC interns, we're gonna start with ideation kasi. So like Sophie and I will be working with them directly. So ayun, the hope is like sila na yung magtuloy then for the next semester as officers. Pero syempre, like it's still open to like the rest of the circle. So next, last on the agenda is yung Udemy. So I'm not sure if we will already announce this, pero we've already had this plan like since the start of the sem. But it's been taking long because merong like we originally wanted to get the subscription na parang um everyone in parang all the members can access as individuals, and like if you watch like a course you can get a certificate under your own name. However, like meron lang issues na nag-arise because like Udemy requires na we have our own business domain, and I asked them if pwede yung .up.edu, but unfortunately since like we're not the admin of that domain, like we couldn't use it. So we're gonna ask for your opinion on this like sometime na are still interested for like the organization to pay for the courses, pero you wouldn't be able to get a certificate like under your own name because it will be under the name of CE. So ayun, we're gonna open that in the next coming months, and hopefully ma-roll out namin to like before the start of the second sem as well. So, yun lang to close na rin. Tuloy ko na. So again, thank you for coming, and we're very sorry for going over the time. We hope though that you you got um valuable insights from Sir a while ago, and also that you are now more interested, like hyped up also for the events of the org, especially for EA, which is coming very very soon. So I hope for I think included yung EA attendance sa upgrade, but also I hope for the MEMS, sana like you can attend and like support our own event. But syempre, you're gonna learn din naman from there. So, ayun, thank you everyone, and yan.
Thank you, Ms. President, for the closing remarks. Kotang-kota, di ba? Opening na closing pa. So now our GA has come to an end. We would like to give thanks to everyone who sacrificed their time to attend tonight. And before we leave, so let's have a picture taking session. So let's all turn